You are now listening to the Walk by Faith podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine Stiff, aka The Pretty Plug. I'm on a mission to tell the lost story that combines faith in God and success here on this earth. The world often separates faith and entrepreneurship as if it was mutually exclusive. But I assure you it's not. I interview the following types of people: entrepreneurs, business women, and businessmen climbing the corporate ladder, founders of nonprofit organizations, college students following their passions, and also artists on the rise. They are movers and shakers in this generation, and I intend to plug you in week after week with content that inspires and educates you to be all that you are called to be. Thank you for tuning in, and now for this week's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 48th episode on the Walk by Faith show. This episode is being brought to you by Faith Tech Grow, LLC, a company focused on developing and cultivating entrepreneurs and professionals by providing education, resources, connections, and digital marketing to increase the leads and sales of your business. We also make sure that we know faith is the secret sauce to create and sustain your business and each other. Y'all, we have more merch on the way. You all sold us out, which I am so thankful for. So we're going to have some new colors. I just finished the design with my girl, Brianna, and we're going to definitely have some more merch. But we are doing a shirt giveaway. How to enter. I need you to post a video on your feed and explaining why you walk by faith on Instagram. Tag at Faith Tech Grow and at WBF Podcast in the captions. Now, don't be posting it and then deleting it, because you ain't going to get in the drawing for this shirt, okay? You must post a video, 1 minute, just saying why you walk by faith and what it is in your life that is really what you're choosing to have faith in God for. All right, so we're going to be watching, and then we'll add you to the drawing. We're going to complete the drawing at the end of Black History Month. So again, if you don't leave it up, you're not going to be in the drawing. Okay, and you will also win an exclusive Faith Tech Grow tee. Now, this tee is not out for everybody, okay? It is just for you. This person listening that decides to get on the video and actually participate in this giveaway. So, I always give you all a business tip. And what's really been on my mind this week, what I have been zoned in on from a business perspective is 1, monetization, but 2, your calendar, focusing on scheduling, making sure that you have a schedule and you stick to it. So what do I mean by that? So you wake up at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Let's say you have a job, right? They bring some sort of income. As soon as you get off at 5, the world is going to pressure you. Oh, you want to go out for drinks? Oh, you want to do this? Oh, you want to no. If you have a goal to reach, let's say 5 shirts a week, and you have not sold those 5 shirts, if you are supposed to submit a podcast a week and you have not recorded it, if you are supposed to write a blog, if you are supposed to produce a YouTube video, if you are supposed to do whatever, have a master class, and you haven't done that, but when you get off at 5 p.m., you decide to take a break and go have fun, and then you look up 3 weeks later, you have not accomplished a darn diddly squat thing. And to be honest, that's not helping anybody else but you. You're not helping yourself, and on top of that, you are now letting your future goals down. So y'all can check out my Instagram. I definitely gave y'all some word on what you need to do around 4 p.m. as you're counting down the hours to leave your job. So again, my tip for today is that you cannot really monetize on any of your skills if you don't have a set schedule, and if you can't tell somebody no in order to go and fulfill your purpose and your dreams. Because we only have 24 hours in the day, and it really is healthy for us to get 8 hours of sleep. But if you're not even going to use your 5 to 9 or 10 p.m. effectively, just throw it all away. But that leads me to my next point. When I think of public speakers, sometimes I think of Tony Robbins, I think of Eric Thomas, I think of Les Brown, I think of M.B. Johnson, Inky. And you know something? It's another person that I also think of. And she is a dynamic female speaker. And she is going to reach the top 10 chart. She's going to be on this list of males. And again, I don't understand why it's not been disrupted yet, but that's why she's here. That's why she is grinding continuously every single day to get her message across to this universe. Because she's a powerhouse and she is officially on the scene. She been on the scene, y'all, but she on the Wild by Faith scene now. So our guest today is a speaker, an author focused on impacting a generation, and she's a Prairie View alum. She also received her executive MBA from the Texas Women's University. I don't like to read people's bios because I really like for them to tell you who they are so you really get to know a little bit more about them. But I have to welcome the woman of the hour, the person that is going to beat E.T. off the stage. And again, I say that because like E.T. is awesome, but like I can see Raven going so far, y'all have no idea. So I kind of just said the person name. But we want to welcome the woman of the hour, none other than Raven Turner, the CEO of Raven Turner and Associates LLC. Raven, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Girl, I'm good. I can't complain, you know. I'm happy to finally have you on the show. I wanted you on season 1, but I think it's divine. You are on the show now, and I like to open it up with an icebreaker. So, Raven, what is the largest audience you have ever spoken to, and how did you make sure to connect with your audience?
So I think the largest audience I ever spoke to was a group of middle school students. And I think it was about 400 to 500 students that filled up the entire gym. And the main thing when you're speaking to major audiences is you have to be interactive. You always want to be interactive, period. But you have to be interactive because when you're speaking to youth, kids, you will lose their attention in the first 5 minutes if you do not catch their attention. And once you've lost their attention, they're gone. So for myself, what I did was I tried to be interactive. And of course, that just comes with practice and, you know, constantly speaking all the time to get that confidence at that level.
Okay. So at this moment, I need you to tell the people who you are, where you from, and how you have made a career for yourself.
Hey, everyone. So my name is Raven Turner. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I live, I guess you could say, in Garland. But I went to Prairie View A&M University, the best HBCU out there. And kind of how I got into this. I went to Prairie View, graduated 2014. At the time, I was wanting to pursue a career in sports business management. I ran track at Prairie View on a scholarship, so I was a collegiate athlete. And I loved it. I loved my time at PV. There's nothing like going to a HBCU. It's a totally different experience. I got my master's in 2017 from Texas Women's. I got that in business, an executive MBA. And so kind of how I got into speaking was I wanted to pursue a career in sports business management. And unfortunately, those doors just did not open the way I thought they were going to open. You know, a lot of times, just as this podcast is about faith, a lot of times, you know, we have plans for ourselves and we think it's in one direction and God has totally different plans. And, just during that entire time of getting rejected and being told no, I was kind of being pushed towards speaking. You know, I'm kind of small in stature, but when I open up my mouth, people listen, especially my peers. And God was just putting me in a position, you know, where it's going to, you know, where you're going to impact this generation, but also older people who are older than you who listen, you know, because it doesn't matter your age. Everyone is human. Everyone wants to do great things. And unfortunately, everyone is not as confident. They're not as bold as they would like to be. So when you hear someone who is young or you see someone who is doing it, despite the adverse situations and circumstances, hopefully it inspires you. So, you know, I've been able to reach my generation, younger than me and older. And, I just believe this is where God wants me. I believe he's going to use me in corporate, speaking to, corporate speaking in colleges where I'm at right now in high school, but I know God's going to use me in the church too. And that's the main thing, because only what we do for Christ is going to last. So.
Yes, I completely agree. And I want to know, what was it like just finding this passion and this purpose? Because a lot of times I'm pretty sure you've faced adversity. How did you get from adversity to your actual purpose?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is I never wanted to do this. I'm really an introvert. I always wanted to make a lot of money. I always wanted to get money quick, So I was like, I'm going to go work a job and work my way to the top, be one of those people who's like the first Black female of the company doing great things. I mean, that was really my goal. And really what I was after was freedom, like liberation. When I have kids, when that day comes, like I want to be in a position where I can come and go. I don't have to ask the boss, can I leave? So I always intended to work my way to the top so I could be that person where I don't have to ask for permission. And, like as I said, that didn't work out. And my entire life, I've had people tell me, you got to call on your life, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, chill. I don't want that. But it's true. Like when God has something for you, you're going to run into it, like eventually. Like I've tried to run from this thing forever and ever. And it just at some point in your life, you just get tired of running. And that's just kind of what happened. And I just was in my room one day and I remember God telling me, like, I need you to change your perspective, like quit looking at it the way you're looking at it. And I got you here for a reason. Like I didn't want to come back to Dallas after I graduated from PV. I wanted to stay in Houston, and God was like, I'm bringing you home because I need you, I need you to get where I need you to get you. And you can't do that in Houston. And he's right. If I was in Houston, I probably wouldn't have accomplished half the things I've accomplished at this point. So sometimes God has got to reposition you, and I'm so glad he did because I love what I'm doing right now. So, all those no's, I feel like it prepared me for where I'm at right now. As an entrepreneur, you get hit with no all the time. Like I called to get my speaking engagements. No one is. Now I can say this honestly, people are kind of calling me now. Like I had someone call me the other day for a $2,000 engagement. It was like, we want to have you. I mean, I didn't have to work for that, so some of these is getting a little easier, but every day I'm calling schools. And sometimes I get hit with no, they don't have a budget or not at this time or call back, in April, May, whatever. So, I felt like God was preparing me through all those no's when I was trying to get Nike and NCAA and Central Florida. If you can withstand this, you'll be able to withstand where I'm taking you. Because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of no's. And if you can't handle the no's over here, you're not going to be successful where I'm trying to take you. So that's honestly how I got into speaking. I feel like he was telling me, listen, you got options. You can choose this door to the right or you can choose the door to the left. One of them is your purpose. Now, the thing is, the door with your purpose is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be days you want to quit. It's going to be days when you don't understand and you're going to question what you're doing. But, I just need you to keep going. Or you can choose this other door. And I call it an already made house because you're not having to build anything. You're just working for someone and they've already built the house, but you're going to do what they say. You're going to come when they come, and after a while, it's not going to be fulfilling. So I chose to take a risk. I'm in a great position. We hear about taking risk and, it's easy to take risk when you don't have any major responsibilities. So that is what I'm doing. I'm taking the risk and I'm going after it and I'm going to get this thing done.
Yes. And it's funny because you say you were running away from it, but you actually used to run. Like you are an athlete and you were an athlete. And I think, can you tell the audience how you're tying your athletic ability to your speaking engagements and how you're able to target an audience just with the things you learned from running?
Yeah. So I think what you're asking me is, how, when I'm speaking to people, how am I using like maybe my athletic experience? We can learn, there's a lesson from everything that we do. And, from being an athlete, just having to work hard every single day, show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. I try to share those experiences and make them relatable to audiences, just kind of, about showing up for your life. And if you're going to run towards something, let it be something that you're passionate about, something that you love. Because I also think this too, you can be passionate about something and not be good at it, and we have to understand, like, you got to get to a point, like, it's great to be passionate about something, but you have to do what you're great at, Like, I read something Mark Cuban said, he's passionate about basketball, but he sucks at basketball. So what he's great at is business. So what he did was got into the business of basketball, and now he's the owner. So you see what I mean? Like, you have to, whatever you're passionate about, that's great, but what are you good at? And then when you figure out what you're good at, how can I, attach my passion to what I'm good at? Like, that's the thing that we got to connect. And, so when I'm talking to audiences, I try to get them to understand, you could be great at your passion. Like, that could be the thing that's going to make you money. Or, find what it is that's going to make you money, but run toward that thing. And then, like, run to taking risk, run to fail, because, we hear all the time, fail fast. That's very, very true. The quicker you fail, the quicker you'll get up and learn from it and keep moving forward. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, you did. And y'all, just for the record, like, she was an athlete, and she speaks to future athletes. She speaks to people that are in sports. She speaks to people that are not in sports. She speaks to everybody, like, on her Instagram daily, on Twitter, on YouTube. Like, she has content that's going to provoke you. And while we're still on, like, the motivational speaking, the public speaking portion, I want to now talk to you and just say, why aren't there more women in this space? Why, when I looked this up, like, on Google, all I saw was straight men. And then women was at the very bottom. Like, my goodness, what's going on in this industry, and why aren't women also at the top?
Yeah. So yeah, when I think of motivational speakers, I mean, even myself, there's not a woman that comes to my mind, and it's only men. It's a male-dominated industry, and I don't know why. I don't know. I personally think a lot of women. I don't even know if this is a good thing to say, but a lot of women, sometimes they speak cute. And I feel like when you're talking to people, sometimes you just can't be cute. It's just like when you go into the gym, we're not working out. Like, we're working out to get in shape, to get our body back. Like, I can't work out cute and not sweat. Like, I don't know how to work out and not sweat. I wish I could, but I can't. So you got to work out, and that means sometimes you got to get real. And it's the same thing when it comes to speaking. Like, I see some men speak and they're sweating. I don't really ever see women speak and they've sweated and stuff, except maybe in the church house, and maybe not even that. So I don't know. I love listening to male speakers, because I feel like great speakers, they make you feel what they're saying, and not everyone who speaks makes you feel it. When I hear Eric Thomas or Inky Johnson speak, I feel it in my spirit. They don't even have to be done talking, and I'm ready to go and execute. And I love speakers like that. And I have honestly never heard a woman speaker like that. And I don't know. So when it comes to myself, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna give it to you how God is giving it to me. And I'm not worried about being cute or whatever. Maybe sometimes I think maybe I should, but I don't. I'm just gonna go speak, and I'm gonna give give you what I have, and I just let God take care of the rest. Like, God knows I'm trying to become a household name. This thing takes time, so I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and He'll elevate me when it's time. And like they say, when it's time for them to see you, God is gonna make sure you're seen. So
I agree. And I just wanted to touch on, like, some of the salaries that you can make, like, from start earnings from 10,860 all the way to 312,000. But I've heard some speakers can command almost 500K or 50,000 in one sitting. I think I was listening to Gary Vee, and, like, he may not charge us for his content, but he gonna charge you to speak. He gonna charge you for your shoes. Like, I think with social media and the way public speaking is going, is that once you become a brand, a household name, now you're on the same level as, like, a comedian or a celebrity. because now you can get sponsorships. And then, I mean, it's endless. You can have conferences. Like, I just want to speak on the money behind it and the different types of revenues that you can create for yourself as a public speaker.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, it's speakers, it's speakers who are commanding, you know, 10,000. That's low. 10,000 is low. It's speakers who are, you know, my coach does 10,000 and more, and he's been doing this for about 5 years. You know, he told me I can be bringing it right now 5. You know, you got speakers who are bringing in 50, 30. It just all comes down to, you know, it's communication. Like speaking is communicating, and you know, great speakers solve problems. Like everything in the world, what kind of problem can you solve? So, you know, by someone bringing you in, you know, solving a problem, and then when you have that brand, like you said, behind you, I mean, all of it helps. So really, when you're speaking, and really not even speaking, but when you're doing anything worth doing, it's the long game. You know, it's the long game. You got to play the long game, and it's not happening overnight. You know, these people, Inky, Tony, John C. Maxwell, Les, E.T., Gary V, they've been doing this for over 15 years. You know, some of us are just getting hip to them, but and it looks like, you know, we're getting hip to them when they're on chapter 30, and we don't see what happened chapter 1 through 29. You know, we don't even see what happened chapter 1 through 10. And that's probably the hardest part, the beginning, you know, because all of this is psychological. You're trying to convince yourself to keep going. The payoff is going to be great. So, like I say, it's the long game. And if you can play the long game, and you can only play the long game if you're doing it for the right reasons, then, you know, you'll get there. Like, I have no doubt in my mind, I'm going to demand that one day, you know, being a Black woman, being a woman, I'm going to demand that.
Yeah, and they gonna pay you too. They gonna pay you. They gonna pay you before you get there. They gonna get there, and they gonna pay for your flights. They gonna pay you an honorarium to get you there, to give you gifts and honor you. Like I'm speaking all that into your life, Raven. Like you gonna walk on red carpets everywhere you go.
You know, I've only been doing this for about 3 years, and I'm already bringing in 3,000 and people paying for my flights. So I mean, I just got off the phone with a client the other day. They're flying me in, taking care of my hotel. You know, this isn't the first time I've had people do that either. So, you know, you got to learn how to, you got to learn the business of it. You know, but I mean, when I first started, I did a lot of free. I'll still do free right now because, you know, it's an opportunity, you know, and you got to look at it as like, this is an opportunity that can lead to another opportunity. Like every opportunity is giving room for another opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's free. It doesn't matter if it's paid, whatever. You get the opportunity, you kill it. You don't know who's standing in the room, who's sitting there. I mean, I got an engagement just real quick for the listener, you know, just to help y'all understand, like you can monetize off of free. I did an engagement at college, got paid for that, but there's some people in the room who are administrators at a high school, and they wanted me to come speak at the high school. They're like, you can't film it, and we cannot pay you. And I was just like, all right, I'll go ahead and do it still. And afterwards, I spoke to the principal, gave him a book. That turned into a $10,000 contract with the school, you know, 5 for me and 5 for another friend. So, you know, you got to think like that long game, and you can monetize. You just got to get the opportunity. And once you get the opportunity, you kill it, you know? And I haven't been doing this longer than 3 years. And like I said, I'm already bringing in 3,000 to 2,000 consistently now. Flights, people paying for my hotel, picking me up from the airport. You know, I put all that in the contract. So if I can do it.
Pick you up from the airport?
Yes, girl. Pick me up and take me back. Yes.
That's a word for somebody. Y'all didn't even know you could charge for that. You ain't even know. I ain't even know. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. My next question is to be a public speaker, you have to master the art of communication. Communication breaks down relationships. It can lead to a successful relationship, or it could lead to a relationship that's ending. How are you mastering the art of communications? What are you reading? How do you exhibit, your communication skills with your peers and with your family? How are you practicing communication?
So I'm practicing stories, personal stories, because that's what speaking is. You can get in front of an audience and tell them everything you read in a book and it not resonate with them, because who cares? Like, you're giving them principle, but speakers, you connect with people because of the story. So as a speaker, communicator, that's how you got to draw people in, connect them to you. Like, people aren't buying your merchandise and stuff because it looks cool. They're buying it because they feel like they're connected to you. I've been in places before where I was trying to sell my book, and one time I didn't sell any book, but then someone asked me to speak on the mic. After that, I sold 7 books. They got that because they heard me speak, and I didn't even speak for a long time. So it all comes down to connecting with you. People want to connect with a human being. Then you attach your principle to it. And that all comes from practice. Now, like they say, the more you learn, the more you earn, because you can start telling people about some of the things that you're doing, and even those go into the stories. So, some of the books I read are by John C. Maxwell. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth is a great book. There's a lot of content in that book, but that is a personal development book. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight is a great book. Just his story. It's a memoir of his life. Again, the story connecting you to Nike, and before Nike was Nike, Adidas, I think, was already out and Pumas was out. That's just a phenomenal story, because Nike is the #1 sports brand in the world today. And he just started with a dream, and his dad was like, "What are you doing playing around with these shoes again?" He's selling shoes out the trunk of his car. The man got sued plenty of times. It's a phenomenal book. So if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, if you need inspiration, that's a great book. The Alchemist, a great book. My book, a great book.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get on Pushed. How is Pushed going? What is the main message of Pushed? Why should people go and buy a copy today?
Yes. So Pushed, it's about turning your adversity into your advantage, right? Because, like I said, there's a lesson to be learned from everything. But the book is to inspire you. It's a self-help book, motivational book that tells my story of how I got into speaking, right? Because, as I said, I was not trying to do this, but a series of events pushed me into it. So that is how I got into speaking. And it talks about some of the chapters in the book. I'll just tell you. Some of the chapters are adversity. Some of them are playing the hand you were dealt. One chapter is called Your Secret Sauce. Who are you? Temporary turbulence, stuff like that. Mindset mastery. The book is about inspiring the audience, encouraging y'all to push through your nose. Let that stuff inspire you. I tell people all the time, like, when someone tells you no, it should piss you off in a way. Don't take it personal, but take it personal enough to where it's a catalyst, it's a spark to get you going. Play the hand you were dealt. Like, if you're not born into riches, that's a good thing. Like, I have a lot of respect for people like that. You weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. So how to go out and work for what you want. So go work for it, right? Like, go get it. It's got your name on it. Like, there's nobody stopping you. God, this is a faith podcast. God did not give you a spirit of fear. He told you you can do all things through Christ, but you just got to believe it. Like, he's giving you all the tools that you need, And another thing, one thing my parents told me growing up, if you make your bed hard, you got to lie in it. I tell people this all the time, because in our generation, it's like we lose track of that. We think something happens and it's the devil who did it. No, half the time it's us. It's you. Yeah. Like, you not making the right choices, right? So, like, for instance, me coming home, living with my parents, staying debt free, getting out of debt. Like, I will be completely out of debt in 2019. Only thing will be student loans, right? And it just comes down to choices. Like, make choices that your future self is going to thank you for. Like, we see all these quotes on Instagram. Stop quoting all this stuff and start executing on it. You know, like, life is going to be hard, period. You know, some things are going to be out of your control. So control what you can control. You can get up every single day and push yourself. You know, if you want to wake up every single morning with satisfaction, if you want to go to bed every night with satisfaction, you got to wake up every morning with determination, right? So control what you can control. You know, become a better person. Take more risk. Go do something you've never done. You know, get things right inside, because you can't have your outside looking right or together if your inside isn't right, meaning who you are. Get your morals, your values lined up, you know, push yourself and believe that you can do it. And I just believe when you get yourself lined up, when you get yourself right, and then you line up with God, you know, you spend time with God, you tell him what you want, be specific. You know, I told God, I don't want it to take 15 years for me to become a household name. With social media today, it don't have to take that long, right? So be specific with God. If you're a believer, tell him what you want. You know, half the time I really feel like a lot of people don't get the things that they want because they're not bold. Like, they don't ask God for it. They don't really believe they can have it. And they don't really have faith that it can be done. But when you really are bold and you're confident and you have faith in what you're doing, I'm telling you, God will move and open up doors. Like, I'm getting paid $3,000 to speak for an hour. You know, that's unbelievable.
It is. Some people ain't seeing that a month.
Yeah. So imagine if you can do 4 engagements a month, $3,000. You're in a totally different bracket. You know, you're in a totally different space financially. So I'm just telling y'all, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you can do it. This book is going to, you know, push you, inspire you to turn your adversity into your advantage and change your perspective on how you're seeing adverse situations that are happening in your life. Change your perspective on how you're seeing it, and learn what you can learn from it and use it to your advantage.
Yes. And I just want to quote something that you tweeted. It says, "You're not stuck. You're just committed to certain patterns of behavior because they have helped you in the past. Now, those behaviors have become more harmful than helpful. And the reason why you can't move forward is because you keep adding an old formula to a new level in your life." Y'all, that came from the Raven Turner. Okay.
Yep, that's true.
I agree. One, I want to talk about like how you created your own book tour. Did you have a publicist, somebody on PR creating your book tour? Because it was at one point in time, I saw you at every bookstore. You set up, you had your marketing stuff ready. You had books ready to sell. Like, what was your public relations strategy? And did you create this yourself?
Yeah, so I don't have any PR, any public relations strategy. I don't even have none of that. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I just go. I just do it. I don't have a business formula. I don't want to create one for this. I'm just speaking. I'm letting God lead me, and I am going where I feel opportunities are. And believe me when I say I ask God for opportunities. I have called schools. I have asked God before, you know, lead me to where you want me to go. And I've called schools and they're like, yes, I'm looking for a speaker, you know, or whatever. But when it comes to the books, I just find opportunities, you know, whoever's having an event where you can bring your books. You know, if it makes sense as far as like the money wise, because you want to get a return on your investment. If I'm paying $150 to, you know, go to this book event, I need to make my money back or over it. You know, I don't want to take a loss. So, no, I don't have no PR person. I just do it myself. I invested in a few things. You know, I'm actually working on another book right now, but writing a book is very tedious and monotonous. So, you know, it was really supposed to be out last year, but I was kind of playing with this thing. So it'll hopefully be out this year, and I'll do another book signing. You know, try to sell the book in bulk as a speaker. You know, one thing you want to do is kind of get a book, because everyone may not have a budget for you to come speak, but they got budgets for books. And this is something you just learn as you get into kind of the field that you're doing. And, like last year I had someone buy 400 books, wrote me an $8,000 check, and that was just amazing. It was at the beginning of 2018. Yeah. And it was relationships, so as an entrepreneur and as a speaker or anyone who's doing anything, sidebar, relationships are like currency. So I'm telling you, relationships.
Wow. Then listen, I believe that. I believe wholeheartedly on relationships. I work really hard not to burn any bridge.
Yes.
And on top of that, I try not. People look at networking and like, oh, you want to talk to them to get somewhere. No, like you gotta have something to offer when you're networking. Yes. You gotta be able to say, you know what, this is what I have to bring to the table. This is what you bring to the table. How can we use this connection together? And a lot of people don't know how to strategically network. And then when they do network, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. I want help here. It's like, that's not how it works. That's not how you network efficiently. And that doesn't return on any investment by you just coming and saying, hey, I just need this. Like, what is that? I don't even know you from a can of paint. So like, my goodness. But the next step that I really want you to, tie in is how is social media helping your business? You just said, hey, like it's not going to take you 15, 20 years. How is social media helping your business?
Yeah. So social media is a huge help. Because, so for me, I get a lot of book sales from in person, from like schools buying in bulk. But probably the third way I get a lot of book sales is by Instagram. Well, face-to-face and by Instagram. So like that helps me there, right? I don't get a lot of speaking engagements from Instagram because you have to learn your audience. You have to learn that. So like as a speaker, my audience is my peers. People who are looking at my Instagram every day. These are the people who are double tapping. These are the people who are on my IG stories. These are my secret lookers, all of that type of stuff. They're on Instagram, right? Now, the people who are cutting me my check are not on Instagram. They are on LinkedIn. So Instagram, I use it for momentum, right? You're showing people things. You're showing them that you're flying places. It's momentum, right? Now, some people may work for a school and be like, hey, we have an event coming up. How much do you charge? Whatever. I get some of those sometimes, but Instagram is not for the people who are cutting my check. Instagram is just for momentum, and momentum carries. Momentum creates opportunities for you. So in everything that you do in life, especially as an entrepreneur, you want to have some momentum because it's going to push you forward. When people don't have momentum, they feel stuck. It's just like when you have gas on your car. When you got gas, you can go anywhere you want. You're rolling, you're moving. But when you don't have gas, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck. And then you're trying to find some gas so you can pick it back up and keep going. You don't want to lose your momentum. So on Instagram, I got my momentum going. I'm always posting. I'm always trying to engage with people so people can see I'm out here moving. People are reposting my stuff. When and people are not reposting content that's trash. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that, but all that helps your exposure. When you're out here posting things, you're posting content that can help people. They repost your stuff. People repost my stuff all the time a lot now, and that just helps me get exposure because their followers are looking and then their followers looking. So social media is definitely a big help. YouTube is definitely a big help. Instagram and YouTube are my two major platforms that I use. I don't really tweet. I tweet a little bit, but it's not like how I do with Instagram and YouTube. And then Facebook, every time I post on Instagram, it goes to Facebook. But my two major platforms are Instagram and YouTube. And I'm going to get LinkedIn very soon to start, helping me get different type of engagements with corporate. And then, the administrators and stuff are on LinkedIn, like I said. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I think I got two more questions in me.
Okay.
What how important is it to have a growth mindset? Like, we can say, oh, we want to do this, but if we don't have the courage to say, you know, I got to keep learning, this is not going to happen today. How important is it to develop a growth mindset?
Oh, it's very important. You got to constantly be growing and learning, you know, because you can only teach people what you know. So if you're not learning anymore and you're not taking the time to develop yourself, you're not going to be able to teach anybody anything new. You know, like as a speaker or whatever, I'm able to teach what I learn. You know, the more I learn, like I say, the more I learn, or the more you learn, the more you earn. Because I can only teach you what I know. I can't tell you how to go make $10,000 or something like that. I can't tell you, you know, I can't tell you anything like that because I haven't learned how to do that. So you want to have a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. So fixed mindset, a growth mindset, you're adapting to things. You're constantly learning. You are, you know, you're just getting better every single day. And that's what you should want as a person. You know, you embrace challenges. You know, you're never giving up. You're thinking outside of the box. You know, you're developing yourself. You're asking yourself, what more can I do? How can I impact? Or how can I help others? Fixed mindset people, you know, they're avoiding challenges. They're staying where they are. They're content. You know, so you don't want to be that type of person. You're never going to get far like that.
I agree. I want to know what's next for you. Like, where are you going next? What can we expect to see in 2019 from Raven? You can answer in 5 years, 10 years, but like, what can we be looking out to find out what you're doing in 2019?
2019, you know, I want to just keep speaking. You know, my goal is really to just continue to get exposure. I'm going to get a second stream of income in 2019 for sure. You know, that is honestly my main goal, which is real estate. You know, because I know what I want to do. A lot of people out here coaching folks, you know, get these groups. I feel like a lot of people are doing that because they're not mastering the one thing that they said they were going to do. You know, I know a lot of speakers who are coaches now, and there's nothing wrong with coaching, but everyone is not a coach. And I'm going to master communication. I want to become so great at it, you know, that people are calling me, phone is ringing off the hook, and I'm having to turn people down. Like, I pray that prayer, you know, I'm going to master the art of communication. I want to become so impactful, you know, to young ladies, to young girls, to my generation, to the older generation. Like, I don't want people to be looking, you know, at, you know, what I look like on the outside. Just listen to the message, you know. So I know God's going to open up those doors, and I'm looking for him to open up. You know, I want to bring in $5,000 this year for more than one engagement. Like, that's the goal. You know, and like I said, a second stream of income, which is going to be in real estate. I'm going to do that with my brother and sister. That's going to be a second stream. I'm going to write another book. And that's really it. I think those are the three main things. I need to get that second stream going. I want to get to 5,000, and I'm going to release another book.
Okay. And that's, to be honest,
that's
all of that can return. What I learned is that we don't need a lot of money to actually be happy. The world has said you need millions and millions to be happy. But if you can do what you love, pay your bills, have surplus, and have the energy to do that monthly, you actually can create a life that you want and be sustained in your actual, like, income. You know? And I think that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship, is that we are trying to survive off as little as possible. So when we actually can, like, you know, make more than that, it's just like, okay, how can I make more with the surplus that I have, and my expenses are already so low?
Right.
So my last question for you, Raven, are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
What does walking by faith mean to you?
Walking by faith, oh man, that means to me, even though you can't see what it's going to look like down the road, you know, you letting God lead you. and you're walking by faith and not sight. It may look one way right now. Like it could look like you're losing, right? And that's how it looks a lot of times, even in life. Like a lot of times it'll look like the enemy is winning. And it's like, where is God at? And you don't see what God is doing in the background. So walking by faith, to me, says it doesn't matter what it looks like. You keep your eyes on God, and you let him lead you, because I honestly can't see, to be honest with you, in 2018, 2018 was a great business year for me. Great business year. But as far as like self-care, it was hard. Like I broke out and I was stressed out. And the reason I was stressed was because I'm trying to get out of debt. And then as a woman who's trying to speak and become a household name, that's important to me, like my career. But as a woman, I want to have kids and I want to have a husband, and I'm 28, and everyone around us, Jasmine, you can attest to this. Everybody we went to PV with, it seems like they're getting pregnant. Well, they're having a family, like they're getting married and they're having kids.
Yes.
And you're like, man, I don't know how you're going to do this, God, and that's a prime example. Like I'm having to walk by faith, like, and this is real for me. Like even my sister, she got Cam, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's like, don't forget about me, God. Because I want both. You know what I'm saying?
You want it all. And we are supposed to have it all. We should not be limited.
Right. Like, and God never said if you want to have a great career, you can't have family. Like you just start having these doubts, and it's like, you read Michelle Obama's book. She tells you at 30-something, she started having fertility issues. You start getting these thoughts. So this is a prime example for like me having to walk by faith. Like, don't stress out. Like, let God handle it. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it looks like, because I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I don't know nothing, right? I'm just doing what he told me to do. And, if anyone comes and talk to me and they're cute, I'm going to talk back. So,
okay. So basically what Raven's saying is, if there are any men listening on the podcast and you got your stuff together, you love the Lord, and you can step to a woman like her, hit her in her DMs. This is the second episode I did. It was another woman. Her name was Kimberly. And basically, she was, in her 30s. And she is on her stuff with her real estate. Like, she's a bomb woman. But she also wanted a man. Like, she was like, Lord, like, please, can we have a man? I also struggle in that area. It's just like, can we not be great and also have a great man? Like, what is going on in that? Like, where is the disconnect? And to be honest, I don't think it's us.
It's not,
It's not.
It's and I think this is where it comes in. Like, some things, like we could rush it and go with someone and settle, but if you want it done right, really wait on God. Like I talk to my dad about all the time. He's like, God knows what you want, and he knows when you need it, mm-hmm. And you just can't figure it out. I've had men tell me before I am intimidating. And the only reason, and I've asked other guys I'm close with from Prairie View about this, and they're like, it's just because you're on your stuff and they're not. Like a real man is not going to be intimidated by that type of woman, right? He's going to want to come and compliment that, right? And add to that. So, we could go settle just so we can have somebody, but I don't want to settle. I don't want just anyone. I'm not just any type of woman. So can't anyone just be with me.
Say it again. Let me snap. This is my snapping.
Yeah. So, that's just that. To all them listeners out there, single women, single men, just wait on God. If you're a person of faith and you're trying to get your career together, it's not easy, because I'm in the same boat with you, but we just got to wait on him.
Yeah. And then I often wonder, like, do we even, like, even if we had that person, the time, like the understanding, what does it take? If both of us was working a 9 to 5 and we got off at 5, and then we just hung out, went to a restaurant, we was living our best life, and we were just, saving money casually, maybe that was the goals back then. But for women of our caliber, it's like, I'm trying to build an empire. And, I need the king to already see the empire and add to the empire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be able to just let him do all the work. Like, I also want to bring something to the table as well.
Right.
But to be honest, girl, listen, I just feel like it ain't gonna happen overnight, just like our dreams ain't gonna happen overnight. And these men are being built. We praying God right now. We are asking that you that you build these men up. Like, please, God, build them up. Build them in whatever capacity. Like, I don't know. Girl, sometimes if I could be real, I think a lot of the good men, they were pacified by their mothers, to be honest. And then, then you get with us and it's kind of like, well, I'm not about to be your mama.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be your mama, but at the end of the day, like, I just need you to be a man. How hard is that? Like, I don't know. For the men,
I think, too, Boris Kodjoe's wife?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me look it up. What's the Instagram name?
I don't know, but just Google her. Just Google Boris Kodjoe's wife.
Okay.
And she made a post on Instagram one time and was praying to God, telling God what type of man she wanted, like from everything. And not talking about just physical, but, what type of man she wanted her husband to be. And she said after she looked at it, basically God asked her, if I gave you this man right now, are you the woman who can be with that man? And her answer was no. And when I read that, it made me think, the type of man I want. Am I the woman right now? Am I my best self right now, the woman that could be with that man? The answer is no. So, we over here, like, this is like how people say, grind, get your stuff together, get your money together, get your goals in order, like all of that stuff, and become a better person in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy the process. Because you're growing in the process. And when you least expect it, that man is going to come. And you're going to be ready. Like, you're going to be in a financial position. You're going to be wiser. You're going to be more of the woman that you're going to be. And you're going to be able to handle the man that you're asking for. Mm-hmm. So I honestly feel like that's what's happening in my life. I'm getting better.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even worry about the fertility stuff, Like, I wouldn't even have it as a worry. Because, to be honest, I didn't even know there was a thing until people was like, oh, yeah, like, you got to have your kids by this age. I was like, I didn't even know. Like, I don't think I'm oblivious to a lot of things. I'm just like, I think I live my life like I'm not going to be worried about what the world is worried about. Because I done seen people that was 34, 35 have children and their kids are not,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Completely, like, they're okay.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm just like, listen, my life is not my own. Let me just relax.
Yes.
But I also end the podcast with a scripture. And what spoke to me was Ephesians 4:29, which is, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit them for those who listen. And I think you exemplify this, Raven. I feel like every time you open your mouth and you speak to people, you exemplify like what people need to hear in order to be motivated, encouraged, and inspired, and then take that inspiration and actually push them to the next dimension. Mm-hmm. So I am completely just thankful that you are on the show. But I need you to tell the people where they can find you on Instagram, where they can buy your book. I need you to just plug everybody in real quick.
Okay, so yes, real quick, my all my social media sites, from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My Instagram name is @theRavenTurner. Okay, @theRavenTurner. Very simple. It's the same thing for IG, Facebook, Twitter. YouTube is Raven Turner. You can go watch a plethora of videos. And my book, you can order it at www.ravensambition.com. If you go to Instagram and just click on the link, it'll take you right to it. And that's where you can purchase my book, copy of Push. I'll sign it and deliver it, mail it to you. And again, that's @theRavenTurner.
Okay. And I don't know if you got the notification, Raven, but I definitely just bought a book. I bought your book.
Really?
And I don't even know how it worked. Like, because I did it through Amazon, do you get the notification?
No.
Okay, you don't get the notification. It's okay. Well, do you get the money though, right?
Yeah, but half.
Oh, okay, half. Okay, I needed to do it through your other website. Okay, I'm gonna do that too. I'm a bless you. I be trying to act like I'm Oprah. And I be like, I'm gonna go to the other site so you can get it too. So what I need to do right now, as you all can hear, I'm financially investing in a Black woman who has a business. I hope that you all are taking note that this is something that you all should develop in your lifestyle. So I'm on Google where I need to go.
I'm about to make it easier. I had just taken it out of my
your bio
Instagram, because of that thing they featured me in that magazine.
Okay.
So let me just put that link back in there.
Okay.
And give me 1 second. So literally, y'all, in like 5 minutes, if you go to my Instagram at @TheRavenTurner and click the link in the bio, it'll just take you right to where you can order my book. And that is the easiest and most simplest way to do it.
Yeah.
So
and y'all can follow me right now. I'm going to Instagram. I'm clicking search TheRaven Turner. And there is going to be an update on the link.
Yes, it is in there.
Okay.
Now, so order that. I'll have this shipped out tomorrow, actually.
Okay. And y'all, she's using Square Up. When you use Square Up, that means that you get all of the money? Pretty much?
Yeah. It's like maybe 3% you don't get, but you gotta, that's just how the business works. You're using their thing, so they gotta get some type of percent.
Okay. Well, I'm buying another one. So y'all, along with me giving away a free shirt, I'm gonna give away one of Raven's books. So y'all need to participate in this things that I be putting on here on this anchor, okay? And y'all can get a free shirt and y'all can get a copy of Push, and I'm gonna make sure I put it on my Instagram. So I think that we're good, Raven. I want to say thank you for being on the show. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm happy that everybody gonna know about The Raven Turner, the future household name. It's already a household name. She in a house and she's holding the name, if y'all didn't know. Her man gonna come. I can just see it now. She's gonna be a future billionaire. And she is gonna be added to the top 10 motivational speakers where she can command her own price to show up to your events. So y'all, I'm so thankful for her, and we just got to clap it up.
Yeah, so thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I know that y'all got something out of this because I got something out of it. And y'all keep following Raven and make sure that y'all are building your own momentum. I think that's what I really took out of this message. You need to have your own momentum to be pushed to the next dimension, to remove any adversity that you have had, and to just go to the next level. So that's all, folks. Buy your copy of Push and make sure that you're supporting her on social media. Until next time, you guys, we're wrapping up season 2 on the Walk by Faith podcast. Check y'all out next time. If you want more content like this, make sure you give the Walk by Faith podcast a 5-star rating and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. You can follow me on Instagram at __ the pretty plug, and follow all updates on the podcast at WBF Podcasts. To those already supporting the show with a monthly subscription, thank you. If you're not already a supporter and you'd like to help make this show possible, tap the link in this episode's description or visit anchor.fm/jasmine-a-stith to become a monthly supporter. That's all, folks. Tune in next week for another episode on the Walk by Faith show.